moving south, where we have some breaking news coming in regarding Karnataka. Remember, elections are due in the state next year, on or before May. This development is very much regarding that. Home Minister Amit Shah apparently met with B.S. Yediyurappa, the senior BJP leader. He was worried and concerned about the birthday bash of the senior Congress leader Siddaramiah that you might remember we were covering yesterday. It saw thousands and thousands of people turn up for it. Apparently, the scale of the birthday bash, the sheer number of people that came for it, has left the Karnataka BJP rattled. B.S. Yediyurappa, in that meeting with Amit Shah, briefed him about the bash. Seeing that massive turnout, the BJP is worried that the Congress could garner more ground if this momentum continues. Let's go over to my colleague Harish Upadhyay for more details. Harish, two questions for you. Could you bring us more context on the phone call itself? Also, was the current Chief Minister, Basavaraj Bommai, was he at all privy to this conversation?
Well, this was a one-on-one meeting between Union Home Minister Amit Shah and former Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa here at the Taj Westin Hotel in Bengaluru. Remember, Union Home Minister is here for a government program on the sidelines of which this meeting has happened. Basavaraj Bommai wasn't present there. This was a meeting between just Amit Shah and B.S. Yediyurappa. We do understand that B.S. Yediyurappa briefed the Union Home Minister about the birthday bash of Mrs. Siddaramiah, which took place in Davanagere yesterday. The kind of record turnout that was witnessed at the birthday bash, and B.S. Yediyurappa also analyzed that this perhaps could give some ground for the Congress, and they could actually expand the momentum that they would get out of this. And Union Home Minister has reportedly asked Mr. B.S. Yediyurappa to work on plans to revive the party organization, and he's also said that if the party doesn't revive the organization despite being in the government, it would be a lost opportunity. So perhaps clear indications coming in that the BJP has taken note of the kind of crowd turnout and the success of this birthday bash of Mrs. Siddaramaiah, and the BJP now planning to have a counter event that might happen in the next month or so.
All right, Harish, if we could just stay with the event itself. You brought us some details yesterday. In some ways, the Congress has very much fulfilled its mission. This was supposed to be a grand show of strength. But could you walk us through the scale of yesterday's event, please?
Well, in excess of 6 lakh people turned up for this event. The Congress says it could be anywhere around 10 lakh, but the sheer number of people who turned up from across Karnataka kind of indicated the presence and the pan-Karnataka presence that Siddaramaiah enjoys, support he enjoys from across cross-section of people. And also significantly, this happened in front of Rahul Gandhi, and almost the entire rank and file of Karnataka Congress was present, including D.K. Shivakumar. More importantly, both the leaders, whether it's Siddaramaiah or D.K. Shivakumar, both indicated that they would work together, and there will be no talk about leadership. In fact, D.K. Shivakumar said they would fight the elections under the banner of collective leadership. You also had Siddaramaiah making it very clear that there's no rift between him and D.K. Shivakumar. It's the creation of the opposition in the media. And he said the party would come back to power. We also had that iconic photo of Siddaramaiah and D.K. Shivakumar hugging and wishing each other. So the Congress trying to set the tone right. Perhaps the success of yesterday's event has given them some sort of a upper hand or momentum. Has to be seen if they can continue that momentum across Karnataka and sustain it for the next 8 months, and also how would the BJP counter it?
All right, and Harish, one last question for you. How deeply should our audiences read into the conversation between Shah and B.S. Yediyurappa? What I mean here is that our audiences might already be... All right, Harish, I'm so sorry. You will have to stay with us. We have S. Prakash from the BJP. He's with us. Sir, thank you so much for joining us here on CNN News 18. Sir, initial reports pointing to worry in the Karnataka BJP over the popularity, the sheer popularity of the former Chief Minister Siddaramaiah's birthday celebrations yesterday. Our reporter telling us that that's exactly what Home Minister Amit Shah addressed when he spoke to senior BJP leader BSY. So what could you confirm for us?
Madam, our Home Minister is in Bangalore.
Right.
Mr. Yediyurappa and the Chief Minister have called on him. It's a courtesy call. When the top leader of my party is in the town, The senior leaders from the state would naturally meet with him and have discussion about the political development. We are not worried about the Siddaramaiah's birthday bash. It is his individual program. Even the Congress party has said it is not about Congress party program, it is Siddaramaiah's program.
Right.
We are not concerned about it. BJP is working on coming back to power on our strength, on our own.
All right, so one last question for you though. Over the last few months, we have seen the current Chief Minister, Basavaraj Bommai, dodged by multiple reports that his leadership is not trusted by the central BJP unit. They are possibly looking for a change. Is that something, sir, you'd like to confirm?
See, several challenges are to be faced when you are occupying a very top position. Many unconfirmed reports will be floated. There is no possibility of any change of leadership. The central leadership have got full faith on the Bommai's leadership. And the coming election also, it will be fought under his leadership.
Okay.
And we are definitely going to come back to power.
All right. So you're also saying that the BJP is confident that they will stay with Basavaraj Bommai when the elections come around in 2023, yes?
Yes, madam.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for joining us here on CNN News 18. Let's go back to my colleague Harish right now to understand more. Harish, we just spoke to S. Prakash from the BJP. He was particularly confident of the BJP remaining with Basavaraj Bommai as their chief ministerial face for 2023. Is that an indication that you've gotten too?
Well, it's a catch-22 situation for the BJP now. We are not too far away from the elections. We are in August now. The elections would happen any time in April and May. So they don't have much time. But at the same time, we've seen the BJP changing leadership in other states, even with 4 or 5 months remaining for the election. So it can't be ruled out completely. But does the BJP have a better alternative here? Well, the Chief Minister and his entire cabinet, there's a union, the Central Party High Command has faith in Basavaraj Bommai, and has to be seen as the party believes that despite all these controversies that have happened, they still can course correct and change things in the next few months.
Harish, one final question for you here. How heavily has the BJP leadership been impacted by the violence we've seen in Dakshin Kannada over the last few days?
Well, the violence hasn't impacted the BJP. What has impacted the BJP and the leadership of the BJP is the kind of response that's coming in from the BJP workers and the Yuva Morcha workers, and the dissent that's in the larger right-wing groups, umbrellas, various right-wing groups. We've seen resignations coming in from Yuva Morcha as well. That perhaps has rattled the leadership, saying that if our core worker base is unhappy with the government, the actions of the government, then it would be difficult for them to motivate these cadres to work full throttle, especially during the campaign. They're not worried that the voter base or the worker base will vote for somebody else. That is not the worry, but can these leaders then on the ground get them to work during elections is the worry, and that's the reason they've been demanding some sort of demonstrative action by the government here. And perhaps that's the instruction that has gone to Basavaraj Bommai and others as well, asking them to ensure that these Yuva Morcha workers are convinced to withdraw their resignation, and also the party can look at reworking the organization. And there might be some changes. Nalin Kumar Patel, the state BJP president's tenure gets over later next week. Perhaps the party will look at a new phase then.
Harish Upadhyay, thank you so much for bringing us context. For our audiences, an incredibly interesting situation shaping up there in Karnataka. That's all that we have. With me, Toya Singh.